Okay, so welcome to the Gaming X, and today we're taking a look at Riverbond for the Nintendo Switch, a cutesy looking dungeon crawler which promises some seriously fun co-op combat, all in the form of a Zelda light. Well, let's take a look and see if this one can do enough with its voxel graphics, simple gameplay to demand your attention. Hit like, hit subscribe, let us know what you think of this one in the comments below. We're even going to be giving away a copy of this one for free today on the channel, but let's talk more about that after the intro. Okay, so as I said, we do have a North American copy of this one up for grabs. All you need to do to win is go to the link in the description below, fill in your details, and that gets you in the drawing. The winner will be announced in 7 days from the release of this video. Then from here on out on the channel, we're working to give away at least one free game a month, often more. I will say that though, we already have one ready for next week, so there's no better time than now to hit that subscribe button. Good luck to everyone who enters. So onto the review. When it comes to story, the eShop page on this one, it pretty much gives you everything, and by everything I mean more than the game itself. It's not story heavy, and nor does it need to be. In this though, a knight has imprisoned the leaders of the 8 worlds, causing chaos. Your mission: travel the world and help citizens by defeating tons of enemies and 8 bosses. And that's about it. It did enough to make me want to kick some serious voxel ass, but I will say it was the description page that enticed me in, not the game itself. I do wish with these characters, they're so much fun, the world's so beautiful to look at. I wish they'd worked on this just to develop it a tiny bit more. Okay, so let's talk gameplay, the main reason to visit this world. First up, when it comes to gameplay, co-op is by far the best experience you'll have here with friends. Up to 4 players can jump into this world, and you can customize away your character to really define the warrior you will be. Skins, they obviously don't change the gameplay, but weapons they do, from swords through to bows and arrows. Think short range and long range attacks. Here you're actually going to have access to over 50 different weapons, which is really impressive. They all have varying advantages and disadvantages to the player as well. You know, I personally did like a more direct sword to the face, heavier, attack points and damage, but I can also understand the benefit of range, especially in boss moments. So what you can do here, instead of just choosing one weapon though, is have a combination of multiple. A good combination is always going to be key to your success here, and you even have quick access to switch them in and out. Now when it comes to the controls in Riverbond, I've got to say I loved it. It's simplistic like the rest of the game, but it gives a nice variation to keep things interesting. Think dodge, jump, attack, special attacks, even like a twin stick style for those ranged weapons. This one, it's got enough in here that it never felt like I was just mashing a single input, because I'm pretty confident I could beat it by just mashing a single input, but it gave me enough options that I always wanted to mix things up to just really have fun with the characters here. The idea though for gameplay, as I said, overall is simple. Choose one of 8 levels, get a mission, some aims to complete while you're traversing these worlds, tackle it solo or co-op, and then take down as many enemies and the boss as you can in the process. It's fun in short bursts. That's the perfect way for me to describe this one. That's for a few reasons. First of all, it is relatively short. You'll finish it in the space of a couple of hours, and I think this one, it's nice to kind of play in those 10 to 15 minute bursts, pick it up, put it down. You'll always have something fun to turn to for a little while. From the beginning though, the main reason I say this is the gameplay's all very similar from the start to the very end. It's hacking and slashing your way through levels. It never really changes this formula. It never really develops it either. So I will say, if you're gonna pick this up, you need to be a fan of that Zelda-like setup here. If you compare this to Zelda, just think top-down dungeons with none of the story or RPG elements in between. None of that exploring, none of that really meeting too many characters. This is bite-sized Zelda. When you do finally complete the dungeon, then it's just back to the menu to choose your next level. It's a shame they couldn't find a way to link them together. Overall, I will say I had fun with this one, especially in a group situation. I've actually went back a few times now with friends. I'm okay with repetition in the gameplay. My only real complaint is how easy it all is. I wanted more challenge. I wanted the ability to really, ramp that difficulty curve. But unfortunately, we don't get that option here. So once you've beat the 8 levels, there's very little that's going to be calling you back. What the game does for difficulty is basically rely on just slightly increasing the enemy count, but it never really had too much impact that I could feel. This one, it's great for some serious Zelda fans out there, maybe looking for a more simplistic and light, relaxing gaming session, especially for younger audiences. I enjoyed it, I can just see its full potential and the few areas that they missed on. Okay, so graphics, and I love them. Low detail, yes, but this is Minecraft-esque visuals over dungeon crawler gameplay, and it makes for some really interesting locations and just an overall visual style. This is where they do an absolutely great job. I was always excited to see the next location that I'd be visiting, because they really went for it when it came to making each of these worlds unique. On top of this then, character design is also something special. Not only can you customize your own hero and make them look however you want them to look, but then the enemies, they each have so many different styles. It was always fun to see who I'd be facing next. The huge bosses as well, they're just totally unique. Think, a warrior boss, a penguin, a tank. They've thrown consistency out of the window here, or anything that would be logical, just to have fun, and it really pays off. Then there's some really cool attacks from these bosses as well. Some have fire mode, some have melee. Each is just very unique. Now when it comes to the more standard enemies that I mentioned, yeah, you'll see repetition, but not often enough you'll feel like they overused any of the models here. Everything here just screams that they put some real care into this one, and they've really built a fantastic looking visual style here. Yeah, the detail, it's low for sure, you can see that yourselves, but that's the intention and I enjoyed it all the same. Okay, so last up, audio, and another design win for the team here. Music's first of all fun and unique to each stage. I really like the soundtrack. Weapons, they have the necessary level of, cartoony, while making sure that they sound true to what you would expect. And then some are very reminiscent of, think, Dragon Quest Builders and Minecraft, especially when it comes to interacting and destroying the world around you. Last up, they gave us some of environmental sounds too. Think dialogue boxes have a nice little twist on them. Think walking through water, walking over ice, it all has its own sound attached. They even have some cute little enemy sounds and a really cool pickup sound when you interact with the world. They built the sound field not only just to the immediate characters that you play as, but the world around you as well in just very small ways, but I'm a real big fan of that. Overall, I think I've used the word simple a lot in this review, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. With this one, it's got a clear market in mind that might be looking for something a bit more relaxed. It's for sure fun for all ages, it brings a huge amount of charm with it, and I can see this one going down great with gaming families, because who doesn't want to get everyone on the couch for a good game session, especially when it's not just your typical party game. When it comes to the complaints, I do wish it had more in the way of difficulty ramp attached to those difficulty levels. Think maybe, one-hit deaths, for example, or even maybe timers on the level to make you rush through them at a certain pace. Another big one for me though is it's definitely a little on the short side. I would personally happily spend 5 to 6 hours in this world, but we just don't get that here. We get 8 short burst missions instead. They can probably be beaten, honestly, in if you were rushing, maybe a couple of hours. Do I recommend this one? Yes, I enjoyed it. I think it's a very fun game, especially for the right audience, especially if you're a family. There, it's real good. Is it a must buy though at this price point? I don't think so. If you didn't know, it's actually around 25 bucks. It's pretty pricey for the short experience we get, and I need to also factor that in to the score we give this one today. With that in mind, today I'm awarding Riverbond a 6 out of 10. It's definitely above average, but that price tag is too high to get it that good 7 out of 10. Now, if this one drops to, let's say, 10 bucks, you can bump that number to a 7, maybe even an 8. I'm sure we're going to see this one in the sales relatively quickly. Thanks so much for watching today. Will you be picking this one up? Let me know in the comments below. Remember to enter that giveaway. It's going to save you 25 bucks here. Not bad at all. Hit subscribe to see the notifications for the winner, but also for our future reviews and giveaways. We'll see you all on the next Gaming X.